Hello, this is Stan Bloomfield, and I've been driving trucks for 34 years, and I got parked here tonight at Lake City, Florida. I'm at the 1-9 truck stop, and I fully expected to get a shower. I will be getting a shower tomorrow at a Pilot. Now, I like the 1-9 truck stops. They usually have showers. This is the first time I've parked here. It's pretty nice. Right straight up ahead of me is a bar and grill. And so, and this is easily within walking distance. So this is a good truck stop. It's got real food within 50 yards, maybe 75, 100. But I'm gonna do a series of these videos I personally don't think I'm whining about truck driving. All right, so I personally don't care what others say unless they're giving me constructive criticism or adding to what I'm saying. All right, now one of the things that I was coming out of Georgia today into Florida, and that last the last way station, I got lucky, and they had enough trucks or whatever, and they turned off the open sign, and they put the sign up they turned the sign on that said trucks bypass scales, something like that. And so I got to bypass the scale. Off I went. As I cleared the scale house on the right, there's two DOT officers getting ready to inspect this tractor trailer they have pulled over. Okay, and I looked at them, and this is now far worse than it was 20 years ago. Because up till 5 years ago, 4.5, 5, it'd be almost 5 years. Up till 4 years and 9 months ago, I was local. I drove for Ryder and Comprehensive Logistics in Lansing, Michigan, and we did 8-hour shifts for the Lansing General Motor plants. So I've been local a large portion, 2/3 of my 34 years driving. And back before I was driving local, the DOT were in uniform. They were in like a police officer's uniform, and they had 9mm on their side. And they, it seems like the majority of them, every time I had to deal with them, it was like they looked at me like I was trying to scam them. And a huge part of that is they knew way back then with the paper logs, they knew we were all cheating on the paper logs. Well, they knew that we knew they knew. And they were as big a part of the funny book is what some people called it, some drivers. They knew that the log books were all lies, and and they were in on allowing the companies to get away with forcing us to bypass scales, to use loose leaf logs, to use 2 log books. Some people used 3 log books. I always used loose leaf logs. So anyhow, I always remember most DOT and the police, when they pulled me over, treating me like I was worse than a cocaine dealer that's selling cocaine to 7-year-old kids in the public school. That's what I always remember. That the DOT just look at us like we're dirt, us truck drivers. And so as I'm going past the scale house today, at the last scales in Georgia, I look over and there's 2 DOT officers, and they are literally dressed like Desert War military, U.S. military. They had flak jackets on, and they're doing an inspection on a semi. Now this is, and I'll tell you, this is total garbage, because our government is the one that allowed 10 to 12, 20 million illegals to come in, and our government is the one that flooded the trucking industry with 1.6 million extra drivers in 20 from my Google search results. In 2019, there was 2 million over-the-road truck drivers. Then we had multiple supply chain issues. All the ports were shut down. Everything is still upside down with the rare earth minerals. Remember all this? We never got out of this completely, but our government flooded the trucking industry with 1.6 million more truck drivers. So now we have apparently 3.6 million over-the-road truck drivers. Now I'm looking at these two, and I'm like, why are they dressed like military? Okay, now I got a buddy, Kirk. I was hauling mail for almost the last 3 years. The post office re-in-housed the transportation, and so Johnston, Massman, and Roth, they all in Lansing, Michigan, they lost the transportation contract for the U.S. Post Office. And so here I am. I'm now back over the road, and I like it now. I like this company. This company, I'm going to do a video on what's happening with this company. But one of my fellow drivers that was hauling mail, and we were home daily. We did 6 hours, 4 hours off, and then another run in the afternoon. And so Kirk, my fellow driver Kirk, he's a good guy, buddy, and he's the example that I like to use. Now, the DOT, the police, management, it doesn't matter who, they're all going to treat Kirk like he's trying to scam them, like he's smuggling teenagers in the back of the trailer, like he's got cocaine in the back of the trailer or his sleeper berth. And they're all gonna treat him like he can't be trusted. And it doesn't matter who, every level, whether it's the DOT, the police, now he's driving school bus, and I guarantee they're not treating him like crap. And so here's the deal. Kirk, he has the hazmat. He has the DOT physical card. He has the Class A CDL. He's got 15, 20 years of driving experience after retiring from General Motors as an engineer. All right? He's got a concealed carry permit. He's got a spotless, he's got an excellent credit history. No criminal record. And he has passed so many background checks. He's passed more stringent background checks than the DOT ever thought of doing when he got that hazmat control, or that hazmat endorsement. Number one, when the Twin Towers came down and that turd George Bush, who is not a true conservative or a true Republican, he got his Homeland Security in, and that's when they made us truck drivers pass pretty much a top secret security clearance to drive hazardous material. Now, I've got everything Kirk does, except I've said I'm not getting the hazmat unless they pay me considerably more, and I'm getting ready to go get my concealed carry permit. All right? But before I got into truck driving, back in 1991, around December, December 91 is when I went to driving school. When I did that, I got out of the Air Force, 9 years, active duty, honorably discharged, and I did not have to go a year to get it upgraded to an honorable discharge. I was honorably discharged. I have I got a pretty decent medal and accommodation and all that stuff. And I had a top secret security clearance, and I loaded nuclear weapons on the F-111E aircraft in England for 7 years, active duty. I was stationed at RAF Upper Heyford for 7 years. Now, if Kirk would have had that top secret military service to go with everything I said he has, he's the one person that should be able to walk into any government office, any police department, and you know what? They're all gonna treat him like crap. Now, that right there is one of the first things that I want all truck drivers to start thinking about. That we have to start somehow getting it through dispatch's head that, hey, douchebag, we have so many background checks that we've passed. You're not treating us like crap. And that goes for the DOT. That goes for the truck companies when they look us in the eyes and lie to us about our pay that they're gonna pay us for when they hire us. You know, we you know, I think I've gotten my point across that this disrespect that an individual with a CDLA now has, it's got to stop. And it ain't. You know, I know it's not going to stop. But you see, there's Sarge. He's about 13 years old. Junior, he's 2.5. That's Sarge's little boy. He's about 55, 60 pounds. Sarge is about 50 pounds. And yep, I've got my little army out here with me. And I think we'll close that video out. And the main point is we got to figure out a way to get it through these companies' heads that the people that don't mind being treated like crap, we don't mind either. Treat them like crap. But the people that shouldn't be being treated like crap, yeah, the thing keeps falling off. So, well, I'm gonna end the video now and just say, stay tuned for more. I've got plenty of rants like this. Stand out for now.